Before we dive into today's wild ride of a story, let me ask you for a quick favor. Our buddy over at a Rising channel is crafting some downright incredible tales. You can find the link in the description below. Take a look, subscribe, and be sure to drop a like or comment if you enjoy what you hear. Now sit tight and let's begin. I always held steadfast to the ideals of loyalty, friendship, and the sanctity of marriage. Maybe that's why the truth hid in plain sight for so long. I never expected that the two people I trusted the most could stab me in the back. But once I uncovered it, I didn't waste a moment wallowing in sorrow. I hatched a plan. I recall that fateful night. Amanda was sleeping peacefully beside me, her calm breath belying any secret. Yet in my hand was her phone, a silent witness to Joshua's scathing messages. Can't wait to see you again. Same place tomorrow. I love the way you scream when I do you. My best friend and my wife. For too long I had been blinded by love. I didn't rouse her, didn't explode in anger. Instead, I sat in the darkness, each breath steady and simmering with resolve, plotting my meticulously measured revenge. The following morning, I played the part of a loving husband. I kissed Amanda on the cheek as I headed off to work and sent Joshua a casual text about grabbing drinks later. That day marked the beginning. I placed my first call to a discreet private investigator. How discreet are you? I asked. Like a ghost, he replied. Perfect. I needed every scrap of evidence. Photos, texts, locations, timestamps, the whole shebang. Weeks passed until I sat down with the PI, an envelope sliding silently across the table. I held back from opening it immediately and asked, did they ever show any concern? Ever feel like they were being watched? He shook his head. They're convinced they're invincible. That was all I needed. Betrayal like this doesn't simply wash away. It transforms you, yet I refuse to let it shatter me. No, I would be the one to break them. Revenge is not in a fleeting moment of anger. A punch thrown in rage is over in seconds. True revenge inflicts wounds that run deep, scars hidden from sight. I planned every move, carefully and humorously over a full year. A year of smiles for Amanda as I pretended nothing was amiss, and drinks with Joshua as we played the part of old friends. I started with Amanda. Her love for stability was her weakness. Our home, a wedding gift from her father with both our names on the deed, and my position as CEO in the very company her father founded. The perfect foundation to slowly and painfully dismantle. Then there was Joshua, my so-called best friend. I fed him stock tips on small companies destined for a meteoric rise, and then a crash. He trusted me as I trusted him. Little did he know that every dollar he entrusted to me was a brick in the grave I was building for him and Amanda. Over that year, I dug two symbolic graves, one for my wife and one for my former friend. Finally, on the 365th day, I knew all pieces were in place. As always, I left for the office at exactly 9:30 a.m. Amanda kissed me at the door with that trademark smile that masked her betrayal, while at 10 a.m., Joshua arrived. I didn't need confirmation. Our routine was set. Amanda led him upstairs, right into our private sanctuary. Did I mention that in the past year I hadn't been intimate with Amanda, not once? And the strangest part was, she never questioned it. No, is everything all right? No attempt to seduce me. She assumed I was so enamored with her that I'd never stray. She was sorely mistaken. I strode into our shared home one day, calm as ever, without stealth or delay. I barged into the bedroom and paused, watching them caught up in a sweaty embrace in our sheets, living out their forbidden ritual. For a moment, neither noticed my presence until I cleared my throat. I believe it's time we talk. Their reaction was almost slapstick, a mix of panic and clumsy confusion. Joshua scrambled for the sheets while Amanda gasped, eyes wide in shock. Tony, Amanda began, voice trembling, but I said nothing. I merely turned and walked downstairs, purposefully slow, knowing they'd follow. Settling into my recliner, legs crossed, I waited as Amanda came down first. I glanced over her shoulder at the stairs. Did he send you down first to check if I have a gun? She asked hesitantly, nodding ever so slightly. I laughed. There was no overt guilt in her eyes, a cool, calculating calm, as if she was ready to lay everything bare. I'm sorry you found out this way, But it is what it is, she murmured, arms folded. Josh does it for me. I still love you. I just need more than you can give. I stared. She believed that a simple I love you would smooth things over. I hope you understand, husband, she added patronizingly. Let me have this little piece. I exhaled slowly, shaking my head in disbelief. You sure know how to wound a man, Amanda. I wasn't breaking down. I was just silently absorbing her words, an unsettling calm that surprised her more than any outburst would have. Tony, what's going on? You're acting too unconcerned. Something's off. I tilted my head and she finally admitted, You know exactly what's going on. You're so calm about Joshua, my former best friend. Her tone shifted to anger. Tony, I really don't know what you're up to, but please don't do something rash. My smile only deepened her ire. Damn it, Tony, spill it. I deserve to know, she demanded, and I replied, leaning forward. You've got every right to know. You kept me in the dark about sleeping with my best friend Amanda. Had a right to know once you hid it so long. Her face tightened, and then I said, Tell you what, you show me your cards and I'll show you mine. I do love cliches. Things escalated until I suggested, Why don't we wait for your former lover to join this little discussion? That sent a wave of panic. Tony, I'm sorry, Amanda pleaded softly. I never intended to hurt you. I only wish you could understand. I kept quiet, watching her struggle with remorse. So you plan to stay married to me all along? I asked coolly. Just so long as I don't get too upset about you sleeping with my best friend. Am I right? Her eyes widened as she whispered, I need that, Tony. I really do. I mean, I want you both. Before I could speak further, I heard footsteps. Sorry, Tony, Joshua's voice called from the stairs as he entered. Amanda and I are so sorry for everything. I mean, my best friend, that cheated with my wife. Amanda's confident facade crumbled, but I lifted a hand to silence her. Then a thought struck me. There was got to be a middle way out of all this chaos. I don't want to lose your friendship, Joshua, I said evenly, and I care about Amanda's happiness too. Joshua interrupted. Wait, are you saying you knew about us before today? Yes, I snapped. I've known for about a year now. Relax, Mandy, I said in a light tone. Your happiness and Joshua's mean everything. I won't explode on you. Amanda's eyes flicked nervously to my hands, as though expecting a concealed weapon, but there was nothing there, only calculated patience. At that very moment, the doorbell rang. I love it when the plan unfolds perfectly. Amanda, would you answer the door? I asked in a gentle tone. She approached slowly, her eyes darting back to me as if every move might trigger danger. I leaned back in my recliner, waiting. I couldn't see her face, but I distinctly heard a sharp, high-pitched scream, cut off abruptly. Then came a calm, professional voice. Mrs. Collins, the process server, had arrived. She handed Amanda an envelope and slid Joshua his own copy. The process server barely acknowledged us before turning and leaving a stunned silence in his wake. Amanda turned toward me, mouth open as if to yell or cry. Then the doorbell rang again. I couldn't help but smile. Joshua, would you grab that second envelope? I asked casually. He swallowed hard, nodded stiffly, and moved to the door. I got the perfect view as he opened it and froze. There she stood, Linda, Joshua's wife. Unflustered, she stepped inside, her heels clicking decisively, and sat on the couch across from me. I turned back to Amanda and Joshua, both faces frozen in shock, then leaned forward, hands clasped. Since I don't want to hurt you further, my voice was smooth and controlled, I've decided to divorce you both so you two can get married. Amanda slumped, silently beginning to sort through the divorce papers, while Linda, cool and composed, settled into the couch with a knowing smirk that made Joshua squirm visibly. Linda looked at Amanda in mock disbelief. I still can't wrap my head around it, Amanda. Your husband is incredible in bed. So why did you stray with Josh? He's pathetic. Amanda's face drained of all color, while Joshua recoiled as I leaned back, savoring every moment of their unraveling world. Joshua's eyes darted between us, panic evident. You too? His voice broke. I let silence hang for a beat before smiling and revealing, Oh, it's been 9 months. Linda stood, smoothing her skirt with finality, and addressed Joshua with an unusual blend of disdain and amusement. I just came to see what expressions you two would have when the consequences hit hard. I'm leaving. The kids are coming home. And Joshua, don't even think of coming back. There's a restraining order in effect since this morning. Joshua was frozen like a deer in headlights. Wait, Linda. We need to talk, he stammered. No, we don't, she snapped. And with that, she walked out. Amanda and Joshua sank into stunned silence, their world crumbling further with each passing second. Soon after, the doorbell chimed again. I rose, stretching leisurely. I'll get that, I said, strolling to the door. Opening it, I was met with none other than Joshua's mother, Patricia Harris. She stepped inside, eyes sweeping over the room until locking on her son, raising one perfectly arched eyebrow. What do we have here? She teased in an amused tone. Without warning, I pulled her close and kissed her passionately right there in front of Joshua. The room went silent. Amanda gasped, and Joshua's face contorted with sheer horror before he collapsed, passed out like a sack of potatoes. It took Amanda a full 10 minutes to nudge him back to consciousness, muttering, Josh, wake up. Come on. Finally, his eyes fluttered open, but no sooner had he begun to process the madness than he lunged at me. His attempt was cut short by his mother's lightning-fast hand, a crack resounding that even made me wince. Don't you dare get to my son, Patricia hissed like a sharpened blade. Josh froze, hand on his cheek, utterly stunned. If fate aligns right, she smirked, be prepared to call him Dad. That shattered him completely. His knees buckled and he crumpled back to the floor, sobbing. I leaned back, a self-satisfied smile playing on my lips as I witnessed the final piece of my puzzle fall into place. Revenge, my friends, is best served at room temperature, I mused aloud. Amanda stared, mouth agape, at Josh reduced to a weeping mess. Here lies a man who betrayed me and now weeps before my eyes. Poetic, isn't it? Joshua sniffled, muttering defensively about age differences, while Patricia scoffed and teased that his performance, at least compared to his father's, was far superior. Amanda appeared on the verge of fainting, and Josh, desperate to escape his own skin, wiped away his tears. Patricia, ever the picture of refined disapproval, straightened her dress. Enough drama, she declared. I need a word with my son. Casting a final glance, she grabbed Josh's arm, pulling him out as I casually waved goodbye. Now I found myself alone with what was once my wife, soon, however, to be merely my ex-wife, Amanda. She sat hunched over the divorce papers, scanning them with an intensity that drew a wry chuckle from me. This documents nothing about the house or my company, she objected. It's my father's company, Amanda. I smiled pleasantly. Yes, my love, he handed it to you. I paused, letting the moment hang. But remember, 5 months ago, you signed a power of attorney transferring the house and the company to me so we could secure a mortgage and invest. I then invested that money, and just last month, I sold the company right after declaring bankruptcy. Her eyes widened. What? She shrieked. I simply shrugged. The funds were there. Then I found an irresistible offshore investment in the Bahamas. A sure bet, or so it seemed. Amanda's mouth flitted uselessly as disbelief turned to horror. That company turned out to be a fraud. I continued, basking in the transformation of her expression from shock to terror. We're bankrupt, I declared solemnly. Not just us, but Josh too. Every last penny he trusted me with. Gone. $17 million vanished into thin air. Amanda's scream filled the house. You did this, she shrieked, face contorted in rage. You swindled us. She threatened court, and indeed the judge was not amused by my reckless investments and dubious money maneuvers. Mr. Collins, the judge, banged his gavel after expressing his dismay over the fiscal carnage I'd wrought. I calmly defended myself. Your Honor, I admit I took big risks, but I've evidence, texts, and emails that show even Josh was all in on these investments. Yes, the company's stock soared briefly because I pushed Amanda's money to inflate it artificially, but Josh was thrilled. I even told him not to cash out. It was a high-risk, high-reward game, and when the stakes were that high, people lose. The judge sighed and, considering the circumstances, decided criminal intent was absent. Then came the matter of the divorce settlement, a mere one-time payment of $20,000 to Mrs. Collins. Amanda practically glowed with fury at that sum. 20 grand, she fumed. But the gavel fell and the case was closed. After 7 long months of legal battles, my marriage was officially over. As for Josh, he's bankrupt. Every last penny vanished. And Linda? I still enjoy her from time to time. I live by a simple creed. You do me wrong, and I do you worse. And his dear mother? That brief affair lasted a mere 2 months before she found a new, younger flame. Amanda had believed she and Josh would ride off into some romantic sunset, but he never truly loved her. She was just a disposable warm body. In a final twist, Amanda attacked him at a bar one night, busting a bottle over his head and landing herself in jail. And poor Josh, after Amanda fled the scene, he was beaten so severely by some opportunists that the doctors doubt he'll ever perform as a stud again. Ironically, he even filed a police complaint against Amanda, insisting she was the culprit behind his hospitalization. Ah, the irony of wealth. Money truly can twist fate. And as for that Bahamas investment, the owner is probably lounging on a sun-drenched beach right now, sipping a pina colada as the waves roll in. Well, I need to take a break now and catch some scuba diving lessons in the Bahamas. Life, after all, has its pleasures. And to you, our listeners, drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and share this story. Your support means the world. Remember, if someone does you wrong, why not serve revenge exactly the way you intend? Carefully calculated and, yes, at room temperature.